All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you. It is an ML Sports Take. We'll talk some Dolphins and Bills here in a moment. We are brought to you by Burton Ace Hardware, the Allen Angus Pub, our good friends at Axe Exotic Pets, and Elevate Fitness. Go ahead and get your membership throughout Central New York, a couple of different locations. Elevate Fitness, they have a pool, they have a hot tub, they've got awesome workout equipment, they have classes. Get on over to Elevate Fitness today and grab your membership. Well, look, if you're a Bills fan, I think first and foremost, you just look at it and say, on the one side of the coin, you say two key things. Number one, this happens in the NFL, right? You come out any given Sunday, anyone can win. Look at the Jets today. They beat the Bengals. I mean, Cincinnati was coming in as one of the hottest teams in the NFL, and the Jets beat them. Just any given Sunday type of a thing. So it can happen in the NFL. The other thing, too, is just, you won the game. You weren't good. Move on, right? You just get the win, move on. This would have been catastrophic if the Bills had lost today. Now, by the same token, having said that, on the other side of the coin, boy, the Bills were awful today. I mean, this was a team that could not get going early. The first drive was an omen that said, wow, what is happening offensively here? These guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this Miami team. Now, listen, I know the Dolphins have really good players on both sides of the football. I mean, most teams in the NFL would love to have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones as their two cornerbacks. I mean, those guys are big, physical. They can shut down number ones. And on offense, they've got Gaskin and Gesicki and Devontae Parker. I mean, they have guys who can make plays. Obviously, Tua is a couple of steps behind as a quarterback, and he wasn't great today. Obviously, threw a pick late, 21-39, just didn't really have a good day at all. The Bills' defense, I thought, did a pretty good job on him. They were all over him for the most part, other than those dink and dunks to Devontae Parker in the first half specifically. But the Bills in this game, they just looked They looked really out of it. They looked bland. That first drive, 3 and out. Josh Allen ran around to the right side and flicked the ball over. He had a wide open Stephon Diggs. If he hits him in stride, Diggs might go for 20, 30, 40 yards. If he makes a move, he might go to the house. It was just one of those kind of days, right? I mean, the refereeing was not great. I thought James Lofton on CBS had a horrendous day as a color commentator. I mean, I loved watching him play. He was a great player. He was a wonderful Buffalo Bill during my childhood, and he's in the Hall of Fame. But he had a bad day. I mean, he said Josh Allen was 5'10". I think he said he was like 220. Josh Allen's 6'4", 6'5", 240. And of course, he mentioned that in the first half, it wasn't an offsides penalty because he didn't fully encroach, but yet the foot was in the vicinity for an offside. So you can be offside and not have encroachment. So there was a lot going on there with Lofton. He missed a bunch of calls. Let the clock run out and take 5 yards for a penalty and move the field goal back even farther. Little things like that. Hopefully he has better days ahead, but this was just not a good performance by the Buffalo Bills. The best player on the field was actually Cole Beasley. I mean, he had 10 catches for 110 yards in this football game. He changed the dynamic of the offense in the second half, a little bit more of a security blanket for Josh Allen. And, I thought maybe the 1A to Cole Beasley was Jordan Poyer. I mean, a guy who had an interception. He had 10 tackles. All of them were solo. He was great. Edmonds, again, had a really solid game. Milano got in the act a lot today. Taron Johnson was pretty good. Mario Addison was good with a sack today. Jerry Hughes also got in the act with a sack. He had a penalty in this game as well, the offsides, which you don't see a lot from Hughes anymore. He's just become really disciplined the last 4 years under McDermott and Leslie Frazier. But you look at this game, and it was 3-3 at halftime, and you said to yourself, good grief, like the Bills, can you just please get that first score? They did that in the third quarter late. It was a great play call. Gabe Davis was wide open, caught the touchdown, and then Diggs on a really good drive by the Bills. I thought that was their best drive of the day. Actually, well, you could make the argument because they had another really good drive in the fourth quarter, 9 plays, 69 yards. Probably late third quarter, though. I mean, you went 80 yards on 13 plays, used 7:06 of the clock. Probably throw that in there as the best drive. But then they followed that up with another great drive in the fourth quarter, 9 plays, 69 yards, and Stephon Diggs caught it over the middle for a touchdown. And at that point, you felt good as a Bills fan until the Dolphins score. They go for 2. They get it. And then the Bills are only up 6, and you're going, you cannot be serious right now. The Bills then, of course, got a field goal with Tyler Bass. They're up 9, which made it a 2-possession game with 3.5 minutes to go. And then, of course, the interception takes place by Poyer, and then Allen ran in the touchdown for a 26-11 win. So at the end of the day, look, the Bills had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They looked sluggish. Maybe they overlooked Miami. Maybe there was too much hype and expectation going to this game that they should come out and blow them out. The schedule's really easy coming up. I don't know how much of that affected the locker room. I don't know how much of it affected anybody whatsoever. Josh Allen, he didn't look right from the beginning. He was anxious. He was complaining to the refs a lot more than he usually does. He was just not, he was being overly aggressive as the game went on. I don't mind him running in and, putting his arm through and pushing a defender away and doing the flex thing and going nuts and getting excited. But it's like all the extra stuff that you don't usually see out of him. I saw some of that today from him. But maybe something happened in the beginning of the game. Maybe he was frustrated from something that Miami did. Maybe he had a bad weekend. I mean, you don't know what goes on with people. But the bottom line for the Bills today is they were home. They played an inferior opponent. They played overall, I thought, D football. I would give them a D as a team today. And they beat Miami by 15 points, and they moved to 5-2. You know what you do with this? Crumple it up, throw it in the garbage can. I wouldn't even watch the tape of this game if I'm Sean McDermott and that coaching staff. Just completely hit the reset button and go prep for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike Lindsley here for an ML Sports Take. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports. We are brought to you by Stanley Law Offices, Welch and Company Jewelers, the Syracuse Fitness Store, and your State Farm agent, Matt Graham. Get a free rate quote today from Matt. If you're in and around the great state of New York, SyracuseInsuranceAgent.com. Make sure you ask also about that rate drop that they recently had at State Farm. Matt Graham is your State Farm agent, the official agent of the ML Sports Platter. And a huge tip of the cap, thank you as well to the Swan and Whitaker families and Brian Conboy of Mass Mutual, New York State. The Bills move to 5-2. The Dolphins fall to 1-7. I'm Mike Lindsley. Thanks for watching. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.